Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ajayi Enigma and I'm back. So today I'm going to be talking about why schooling is a scam. Now, the corporate world is in this 21st century is Darwinism, meaning that it is brutally competitive. And to survive and thrive, I believe one needs to add a lot of vitamins to the degrees, to the certificates to give an edge. Now, this edge comes in form of first experience. Now, no interns, no experience. Interns, leadership programs, volunteers, fellowship, associations, service, leadership opportunities on campus and off campus makes or gives you that edge that you need. Now, why do I say that schooling is a scam? Why do I agree with those who say that school is a scam? Now, you need to understand the perspective of those who say that the schooling process is a scam. At first, the schooling process is a limited process, a process that has a start and stop time. That is a process defined by time frame, a process defined by syllabus, defined by the scheme of work, defined by timetable. And in today's world, certain skills are not inherent in the curriculum. Certain skills, even if they are inherent in the curriculum, even if they are added to the curriculum, they are not well taught. One of these skills is financial literacy. Financial literacy remains that form of education. Let's say financial education remains that form of education that transcends the schooling environment or the school environment, meaning that people will have wealth, people who make money, people who control resources, who are not educated, they see school as a scam. How do you feel when you see a young undergraduate who sees another young person who is not even in the school system but is thriving in what he or she is doing? Or let's say a young person, there are two young person A and B. Young person A is in this higher institution, young person B is not in the higher institution, he is into skilled work and the person is making money. The other person is in school. After the school, the person start looking for a job, go back to square one, cannot create, cannot innovate, cannot do anything on his or her own. And then the other person who has been learning a particular trade, who has been engaging in one particular skill, starts making money from the skills he or she has learned part time. Then what makes the schooling process is calm. Now the schooling process sees mistakes, crisis, and failure has a setback, meaning that while in the school, when you fail, you are seen as a failure, which is not supposed to be. Failure should be a learning process. Failure should be the hallmark towards success. Failure and mistakes and crises should be the avenue where people should define and redefine what they are meant to do and what they are doing wrongly. But in the kind of school system that we have today has set a kind of a grade pattern that sees those who do not meet up with that grade pattern as failures. The scientists that we have today who are doing well or who we read about are those who have embraced the power of crisis, mistakes, and failure on their path to self-discovery. And the schooling system we have in our society today do not embrace mistakes, failure, and crisis. As a matter of fact, if you fail a particular class one, two, three times, certain school might ask you to withdraw or they send you away, neglecting the fact that mistakes, crisis, and failure can be a turning point for an individual if properly harnessed. Now, as an undergraduate, it is crucial that, like I said, you do internship, you do volunteer work, you do fellowship, you do network, because all of these things will beckon on opportunities for you. Now, while in the school system, it is only a microscopic few that get engaged in some of these things that we are saying, thereby preparing themselves for the future. So on the average, we have a large chunk of people who do not do any of these things. And so when they're out of the schooling system, they feel that the school has wasted their time because they have not prepared themselves ahead of the future. If you look at the society that we have today, people have multiple expenses, and they do not have multiple streams of income. So if you have multiple expenses coming in your way and you do not have multiple streams of income, you find yourself that you'll be locked up and you feel that the thing that you have learned part-time in school is a waste of time. Another thing is that if while you are in school you don't define your career path, then certainly to you school will definitely be a scam, because you might be trapped after school. You have not realized your passion, your zest, what you intend to do in life. You have not defined your roadmap and how you intend to journey into your future that you desire. And so many people who are trapped in this process believe that while they were in school, they did not get the right financial knowledge, they did not get the right knowledge that they need to stand out in the future that they desire. Now, if the school fails to expose you to the street skills, I'm going to be talking about the street skills in my next video. If the school fails to expose you to the street skills, which I call the 3 tools that you need to embrace: success, failure, crisis, and mistakes, then you find yourself being trapped in the things that you desire to do. You will not be able to do the things that you desire to do, because one, you are already limited by the schooling system. Like I said, the schooling system has a time frame. It has a start and stop period. But today, immediately a lot of people leave the schooling system, they go back to the street. And when they get to the street defines them. The street tells them the things they're supposed to have done while in school. And after school, because they've not done those things, they go back to the street and start learning certain skills that's supposed to have been learned even before them going to school. And so as a matter of fact, we need to realize that at some point in time, we really need to really separate education from schooling. Educating the mind, educating yourself, means that you are transformed not only from within, you are transformed without. Now, how do you now transform yourself into not believing that schooling is a scam? When you are studying a particular course, the question is, do you have the right skill to compete in the outside world with the course that you have studied? If you are learning a particular trade, do you have enough knowledge of that skill? Do you have enough technical know-how that can make you excel in that your choosing field? So these are many questions that we need to start finding answers to them as we move ahead to really define, to really say that is schooling really a scam. Ladies and gentlemen, you must also understand that on your developing process, you have to be truthful to yourself. When you are truthful to yourself, you learn from A, you learn from B, you learn from C, and you are able to juxtapose all of this knowledge to really tell which of this knowledge is the one that aligns with what you intend to do in life. A lot of people who see schooling as a scam today are people who are frustrated, are people who have lost hope in the system, are people who have passed through the system, but they have realized that the system do not really build them for the future that they desire or the future that they really want for themselves. Now, if you do not want all of these things to happen to you, you need to really ask yourself, what do I really want to do? Have you defined your career? Have you defined your purpose? Have you defined your passion? Have you defined what you want and what you need? Do you have the right skills that can match the course that you have studied? Do you have the right knowledge that can help you compete in the Darwinism society that we find ourselves today? Don't forget that while I was starting, I said that the corporate world in this 21st century is Darwinism. That is, it is a society that is brutally competitive, and to survive and thrive in this society, you need to add certain vitamin to the degree that you have. This will give you an edge, and this edge will come in form of experience. It will come in form of you learning and doing intern. It will come in form of you joining leadership programs, doing volunteer works, doing fellowship work, giving yourself to platforms that align with what you have studied or what you are studying, and so it prepares you ahead of the future. There's always a place for financial education. Financial literacy is a big tree that we all should embrace in our learning process, because if the earlier the better. If we do not realize the importance of financial education, at some point when we realize, it might be too late and it might be frustrating. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you agree that schooling is a scam with all that I have said, please do enter the comment section and share with me your thoughts. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Do have a fantastic day.